everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Reads. I'm glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on today. But before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. Go in here, go in the settings, hit your subscribe button, hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload or when I pop in. Like I am popping in right now. This is going to be really, really quick because I had just wanted to say something. And give me a thumbs up so you'll be helping me to fight that unrelenting algorithm. I really, really appreciate it. And don't forget our join button down here. That's for our channel members. But I'm doing this really, really quick because I just wanted to pop in. I saw something that I just had to speak on. And this is an article by Tom Sykes. And we all know uh, Prince William and Charles bring their salty tears to Tom Sykes. And this is an article about Harry missing his uncle's funeral. This is a man who has been dead for 2 weeks. And for 2 weeks, they have been saying the same thing. I have gotten to the point where I was going to ignore this, but it's just going on and on and on. And like I said, this is just nonsense that they're throwing out there to try to throw a monkey wrench into Colombia. But I will address it. I will do that because it's so funny. I'm going to read a little bit of it and then I'm going to say what I got to say on it. It said Prince Harry's friends don't leak. Says it's very sad he can't come home for his uncle's funeral. Friends of Prince Harry has said it's very sad that he is not planning to return home to the UK for the funeral of his uncle. Robert Fellows, a great keeper of royal secrets, died in the beginning of the month. And in the beginning of the month, he died almost 2 weeks ago. He died. He was married to Princess Diana's sister, Lady Jane, who is just 67. He is also the late Queen Elizabeth's private secretary and took the palace side in the power struggle over Prince Charles' failing marriage. That right there says it all. That right there. Do I need to read that again? He took the side of the palace. He took the side of Charles against his sister in law when Charles was treating her like a dog. He took that side. And he took the side of Harry's father's bad behavior. I mean, really bad behavior towards his sister-in-law. What do you think? Whose side do you think he would have took on Harry and Meghan leaving? It's my understanding that Harry never was close to this man. Now, he was semi-close to Jane, and I think he softened even more after he became an adult and kind of sees the complication of the relationship between Jane and his mother, because it is known that Princess Diana was not on good terms with Jane because of this, because of her husband. And so this man, who Harry contributes to some of the problems that his mother had, because Diana said that he was one of the worst of the men in gray suits. Her sister's husband. And so now he's dead. And so Harry is supposed to pick up everything, to leave his family, to uproot his plans to go to a funeral of a man who's been dead for 2 weeks. And basically, it's right before he's going to take his Columbia trip. How does that make sense? I just don't understand how the UK press, and this is not even the UK press, but it's all in the UK press. I just happened to take this one from the Daily Beast, which is a portal to the US that Charles and William uses to put stuff out in the US. And so, which is actually the same thing. But it's funny to me that they always feel that Harry and Meghan should, well, Harry especially. Everything that happens over there, he's supposed to travel 12 hours to come over there and show his face. I'd have gotten to the point where I don't know if they expect that or it's just wishful thinking at this point. Because Harry has showed them that that's not something he is inclined to do. He did it for his dad, and Charles gave him 30 minutes of his time. Why should Harry do that? And it's my understanding. And I believe William put this mess out, talking about friends of Harry. It was William. Pretty much wants to paint Harry as this callous person who will not come and see his uncle buried. But they don't want to tell the whole story of how his uncle behavior affected his whole life, and including how his behavior tormented his mother. They don't want to talk about that. But they want to talk about how Harry is so callous and not jump on a plane, fly 12 hours to be at a funeral of a man that he really didn't care for. Make that make sense for me. And also, while they are talking about Harry should come and be at the funeral of this man, one of the former men in gray suits that tortured his mother, that William himself, who is right there in the country, is not planning on attending. Now, make that one make sense. But yet and still, nothing is being said there. Why is it that Harry is expected to uproot his life on a drop of a dime, but William, who lives there in the country, is never questioned when he is a no-show? I'm just saying. Let me read a little bit about this and then we'll discuss. This is just a pop-up, a really, really quick. So I just had to say something about it because I am just so sick of them putting all of these obligations on Harry, but yet never saying anything about William, who is right there. He is right there. Harry lives in Montecito, California, 12 hours away. Write a story about that. Write a story about William not showing up, not Harry. Because I think Harry got a doggone good excuse. Let's go on. He said, Robert Fellows, a great keeper of royal secrets, died at the beginning of the month. He was married to Princess Diana's sister, Lady Jane Fellows, who is just 67. He just 67. Okay. He was also the late Queen Elizabeth's private secretary and took the palace side in the power struggle over when Prince Charles fell marriage, which then Prince Charles fell marriage. Diana's relationship with her sister inevitably suffered. However, Jane and Harry reconciled and she gave a reading at Harry's wedding to Meghan Markle in 2018, highlighting her important place in their lives. But that doesn't mean her husband did. He forgave her, but evidently he didn't forgive the husband because he ain't flying 12 hours to see him go in a box. And I don't blame him. Let's go on. Although Harry was great fans of the Fellows personally, who Diana regarded as one of the leading men in gray who conspired against her. Harry reconciled with Diana's sister, but not her husband. He tormented his mother, and Harry knows that. And Harry is saying, you know, Godspeed to Mr. Fellows. Let's go on. Um, Friends of the family told the Daily Beast that Harry would have liked, in normal circumstances, to attend the funeral out of respect for his aunt. I doubt that. She understood. Sources close to Harry, however, told the Daily Beast that Harry would not be returning to the UK for the funeral. Some outlets have claimed that Harry is not returning. Some outlets have claimed that Harry is not returning for the funeral due to the fact that he no longer feels safe on British soil, having been stripped of automatic security while in the country. But a source told the Daily Beast that while this was part of the picture, challenging security arrangements were only one of the multitude of reasons why visits to the UK were problematic. Harry and Meghan are due to travel to Colombia on Thursday for a tour of the country supporting the initiatives aimed at combating violence against children. Another source, an old friend of Harry, told the Daily Beast, it's just also very sad. The idea that he wouldn't be there to support Jane in her grief would have been unimaginable a few years ago. I think it would be very imaginable because why would Harry feel any kind of way about this man? About this man, Robert Fellows, who tortured his mother and conspired and was faithful to Charles in his, I'm trying to censor myself, in his behavior with Camilla. So I think Harry probably feels some kind of way where he has been able to get past it with Jane, who put up with this nonsense against her sister. He has not been able to get past the source of the nonsense. So I don't blame Harry. And I was Harry, I would say Godspeed. And if it's a hell, say hello to the devil when you get there. That's exactly what I would say. All right, y'all. Like I said, this is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to pop in and just address that. Can you imagine? I am just so sick of them thinking that Harry should run over to the UK at every drop of a hat or a sneeze from somebody. It just reeks of desperation of the UK media to want to have something to report on when it comes to Harry. I tried to ignore this story. This story is 2 weeks old. The minute this person dropped dead, they were on GB News and BBC and all the rest of those places over there, and in the news of those tabloids talking about, is Harry coming? Is Harry? You think Harry coming to his uncle's funeral? Harry and William might meet up at his uncle's funeral, and on and on and on. And after 2 weeks of this nonsense, I said, okay, I'll address it. This man was not a good man to his mother. And we all know how fiercely protective Harry is of his mother's memory and his mother, period. And even though he was a little boy, he couldn't do anything about it. He is not having it as an adult. And so, am I surprised by this? Absolutely not. And it would have to be Charles to pass away, for Harry to come over there for a funeral. And I don't believe Megan would come even if that happened. All right, y'all. That's my little pop up. See y'all later. Bye.